All right, you guys, we're continuing on here. This is going to be part 3 of 4 of my breakdown of every single one of the quadrants of the March Madness bracket for 2023. Make sure you drop a follow and drop a like. That way you can keep up to date on all the March Madness info as it unfolds. And now I'm going to give you part 3. Let's get into it. Top of the bracket's pretty easy to determine right here. Kansas is really good. Kansas will beat Howard. They will beat whoever wins between Arkansas and Illinois. I'm not even worried about it. The next part is going to be interesting. VCU will definitely beat St. Mary's. VCU is a tournament team. They are always competitive in the tournament, and I just watched them play yesterday. They're a great team. They will for sure beat St. Mary's. UConn should beat Iona, but Iona is surprisingly not horrible at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Iona could beat UConn. If you're looking for an upset, pick Iona as a sleeper. Next, we have TCU and either the winner of Arizona State or Nevada. Nevada, in my opinion, shouldn't have gotten in there. They're in the Mountain West, and they lost 3 games, the last 3 games of their season. They shouldn't have gone in. I'm not a big fan. That spot should have gone either to Clemson, who deserved it, or I'm biased, but North Carolina. North Carolina is better than a lot of the teams that made the field, even though they played bad. They're better than a lot of these teams. That's a whole different discussion. That being said, TCU will beat either one of these teams. Next, we have Gonzaga and Grand Canyon University. Lopes up. I actually think Grand Canyon University can beat Gonzaga. Gonzaga relies heavily on Drew Timme, and I think Grand Canyon plays a very well-balanced game, and I was really impressed with them in the WAC tournament. Here's another upset for you right here. I got Boise State over Northwestern. I do not trust any teams from the Big Ten. I just don't. I've picked teams from the Big Ten majority of the last 4 or 5 years, and they always disappoint. They never show up. I'm not sure why that is, because on paper, they always have a ton of ranked teams within the top 25, but they never show up in the tournament, and they never play like you would think they would. Whereas the Big 12 is always a lot better, and they typically show out a lot more in the tournament. And that's going to be the case this year, too. I think Kansas is going to go far. I think Texas is going to go far. And, of course, I already said Texas is going to be my champion. But this is where it gets really sad. Originally, UCLA was going to be my NCAA champion this year, but they lost the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. Granted, they're in a really weak region. Look at this quadrant right here. This is a really weak region. I think they can go pretty far, but they're not getting to the Final Four. But I definitely see UCLA getting to the Elite Eight rather easily. I don't see any real challenge here on this side. Make sure you're sharing this. Make sure you're following you guys. I'm going to have more of your March Madness info for part 4.